All right, so over the weekend I got started on doing a bit of one-shot comic manga stuff for the Tamen Project. What he For this one here, this is the trading card game story that I'm doing. It's pretty much just a draft. I've got one, two, three. I think I've got 5 pages here. One, two, three, four, five. Yeah. So it's pretty much it's just a tutorial, kind of a tutorial on how the game goes. It's a way for me to try and flesh the game out with just one person. So yeah, it's not really much of a story so much as it is just me explaining how the game goes. I got inspired by the original Yu-Gi-Oh manga, not the Duel Monsters manga, but the original one where it was just every chapter Yugi and his friends were caught in some kind of dangerous thing and they had to play some kind of dangerous game. But they did have the original concept of Duel Monsters in there, which was there were two chapters called the Fanged Cards Part One and Two, which were pretty much like the first episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters, the animated series. Then there was a another there were another there were another several chapters, I think three or four, where it was Deathmatch. I think that was the title, Deathmatch, but I feel like it should have said Deathmatch Rematch or something, where Kaiba pretty much creates the Hollow program in order to play Yugi in another duel and whatnot. Uh, then it was the Terror of the Blue Eyes, which was Kaiba pretty much getting one over on Yugi by summoning all three Blue Eyes, and then it was a Piece of Heart, I believe the chapter was called. Yeah, I believe it was a Piece of Heart. Pretty much, it's Yugi summoning Exodia and winning the game. So just like how they adapted that into the anime, that's what happened. Um, so after reading that stuff and then seeing how they actually put the rules of the game inside like the chapters of the manga itself, that kind of got me a little more inspired as to how to figure out how I would go about doing that. So I'm glad I found that. I bookmarked it just in case because it's really hard to find manga to read online nowadays without having to pay for it. They've really gotten on people about that. So yeah, I got that, and then I'm also working on the other story, which is more of an adventure type of deal. And for that, I'm looking at the Pokemon special manga because again, looking for stuff that they haven't gotten to and they haven't really gotten to this because I don't technically Pokemon Special Manga isn't a Pokemon product. It's like it's pretty much a fan fiction that's endorsed by the creators of Pokemon. They didn't make it, but they endorse it so much because it's more based on the game rather than the anime. So I thought that was really cool that they did that. But yeah, I looked at that. I'm also incorporating a little bit of Monster Hunter. I haven't found a Monster Hunter manga, but then again, I wasn't really looking, so I should look for that. But yeah, it's pretty much like Pokemon mixed with Monster Hunter, and that's basically Tom and Advent. And I did a 15-page thing for that. I actually got the 15 pages for that, so there's a few panels missing for the last page, but it's pretty much complete. Uh, the fighting for the monsters is like one, two, three, four. It's like 4 pages. So I kind of had to try and cram everything in there. I wanted to do more than four, but I realized that I was kind of getting a little too far into the chapter and like not having any action. So let's see, there's one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 15. Okay, no, there's one, two, three, four. Okay, yeah, there are four. So this is when they just get into it. But yeah, the problem I usually had with trying to make like a manga or a comic was the paneling, and I don't know for some reason this weekend I just started experimenting, figuring things out, and then as I went further into it, the panels get a little bit more creative, a little more complex. I'm trying to make sure they're not a little too complex where they're like unreadable. So like for right now, it reads from left to right, not right to left because that's Japanese, which I could technically do by flipping it over, I guess. But no, I like the left to right. It's fine. I mean, it's digital print, so it doesn't really. Well, I won't say it doesn't matter, but to me, it doesn't matter. Mostly because I don't want to rework all this. So my voice broke. But yeah, um, this is the most work I've ever gotten done in terms of comic stuff. Actually, when I was younger, I used to do this stuff like no problem. I had like several books I did, and this was like when I was in sixth, seventh, and eighth grade. And for some reason, once I hit high school, like I guess because I was reading so much actual manga, I kind of had my brain uh, a little overwhelmed and discouraged with what I was actually looking at, and then trying to imitate that, and then not being able to do it. But yeah, so pretty much I've got the adventure chapter down. I still need to figure out the TCG thing. This is a little more it's a little more technical, so yeah, it's gonna take a little bit more time to figure it out. So, I don't want to do the thing where something happens and then someone's losing, and then to make them win, you do some kind of BS thing, and then it's like, wait, but then you got to keep track of all the stuff that happened beforehand. So, I'm just looking that stuff over, and then along with that, I also have to work on the encyclopedia project, which I have not started yet due to the fact that well, each project pretty much kind of inspires the other. So once I get these two done, then I can actually go on to make like the world build and stuff, which will help me figure out better how to go about doing the actual stories for these if I decide to do them. I'll have to have a good enough content in order to keep it going, but I do want to make it. So that's pretty much what I have for. I won't say this week. This is pretty much what I had did over the weekend, and I might explain more about these comics or whatever you want to call them, like at a later time this month. But as for actually having them completed, I feel like it'll take a little bit longer to do like line work and make sure that the scripting is good and that everything is like pretty much flowing correctly. So that would take about another month. I'm gonna give myself another month. That's gonna be, let's see, what's today? Today is the 12th. So I'll give myself till November. I'm gonna give myself till November 30. Whatever the last day of November is, that's when I'll like sit there, and during that week I'll talk about the projects, all the projects, and then during the beginning of December, you know, just try and release them, and I'm gonna do that using quite a few sites like DeviantArt. Uh, what were the other places? DeviantArt, Twitter, uh, oh, and Metabang. DeviantArt, Twitter, and Metabang. Those are the three places I usually frequent. Although I haven't used Metabang a lot, and I haven't used DeviantArt in quite some time, so it'll be interesting trying to set up my stuff over there and whatnot. And yeah, so pretty much that's it for the comic stuff. That's it for the Tamen Project Progs, Tamen Project Progress. I'm gonna try and finish up on. Well, first thing, I need to finish up on that last page because I feel like if I don't, that's gonna sneak up on me, and I'm gonna be like, "Oh crap, I didn't finish." But then I also got to finish the TCG thing, and then do more on the actual TCG itself. Because while I've talked about it enough times where I can't really test play it because I don't have one to test play with, which is why I made this. But also I could still make more creatures, improve on the designs. That way, when I do finally get to that point, I don't have to like rework everything. It's like I just have to put it in, and it's like it's already done. So with that said, I am done. This is the progress, and I will see you in the next video. Oh wow, 10 minutes.